That you're probably right about.
Sorry. And truthfully, I think Rinna would chuck Erika down the river.
Yes.
Those are two peas in a pod right there. They're both so, they're both just like survivors. Like I don't want to say over their mother's back because I'm very sensitive to Lois, but I honestly, I don't think that there's a lot of people that they are loyal to or care for.
And you think Kyle Richards is loyal? More so?
I can't. This is what I want to go on the record. I really, really like Kyle. I think she's a sweetheart. I think that she grew up in. I did not see that movie, that documentary on
the book.
Like. No, the big Kathy thing.
The Hilton.
Is it you that told me about that?
House of Hilton's, yes.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen that, but I think that when you grow up in that situation, clearly there's sibling rivalry. I think it's a different, it's a different thing that for sure that I had with my sisters. And I think that the closeness that she has with her friends and her kids and her husband, I think she is loyal. I think she's very, very loyal. I think that the relationship that she has with her sisters, and maybe the fact that she didn't stand up for Kathy, and I do, if that were me and I was sitting on the sofa and someone was coming after my sister, I mean, honestly, I'd probably be one of those like trashy girls that's throwing a drink and like lunging. Yeah, I don't come from my family at all, but I have a different relationship. And I don't think that they have that same kind of thing. I think that there's sibling rivalry. I think there's jealousy. I think they obviously went through hell and back with the whole Maurizio leaving the company and starting his own brokerage. And I think that they've had their problems. So, but I would have liked to have seen Kyle shut it down. And when Kyle said, I said I didn't believe that, or I didn't hear it. When Kyle said, I said I didn't hear those things. Honestly, I love Kyle. For me, that's not enough. That's not good enough. If my sisters just offered that up while my head's on the chopping block, I would be pissed and I'd have words about it.
Well, so it's like a very strange dynamic. That's, look, let's go through each side of it. That's Kathy's side of it. Like, I'm sitting there and where are you? I'm sitting next to you. Where are you? Like, why are you not telling this woman who is attacking me and claiming these things,
But maybe because a lot of what Rinna is saying is true, right? Not to the point where the general public wants to condemn Kathy for saying it. And I don't believe Rinna was shook and fearing for her life and going to get cancer. She didn't share it with the world. But I think that Kyle even said on that one, I don't know, the last episode or the second to last episode, and Erika brought it out. I'm glad that everyone saw what I go through. So there is that. Yeah. But even still, I don't know. I think it's just I think that their relationship as sisters and the love that they probably have, this is just my observance, I would say is very compartmentalized. Oh, damn
it. Another Donnie call.
Yeah. I would say it's very compartmentalized as far as, and clearly they've lived without each other. And if they hadn't spoken since the reunion and then BravoCon, and who knows if they're speaking now, and they're good with giving each other silent treatment, I could never live like that. If I have a beef with my sisters or my brother, I say everything and I will curse.
Then you'll curse. I couldn't tell, like, it's almost like that to me is the most interesting part of this whole reunion, just because this is real world. I couldn't tell if, and yes, there's years built up. I couldn't tell if it was like, right, like, I understand Kathy, like, speak up, Kyle. And yeah, Kathy probably feels like, I've given you everything. Like, you Mauricio did leave the Hilton brand, and started his own thing. And yes, there was problems, but now you have it. Like, we gave you your start in the business, and you're looking at me like, huh?
Well, no, but I mean, and you know what? I think that Kathy's the oldest, and she's kind of probably like what's now the matriarch of the family and everything. But and that's the dangerous part, I think, with siblings. Sometimes when one feels like, you're responsible and everybody is where they're at because of what you've done for them. That's I don't like that. I don't think that that's and that to me is another knock against Kathy and a plus for Kyle, because Mauricio may have learned how to sell real estate, but he built the agency and they built that business based on their success of the show, the hard work they put into it, the staff that they brought into their agency. Okay, that's it's only fair.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just trying to picture, because I mean, there's Kyle's side of it, and I think Kathy also. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying what side of mine. I'm just saying, like, I think that's what goes through her mind, and I think she also feels like, now you're crying. I mean, that's what she made on my Instagram comment. Like, it's always about you, and grow up, and I think Kyle feels like, I'm not going to speak up and defend you because, like, A, these things that you're being accused of saying, a lot of them are against me. And B, like, we've been down this road before. It's always, you're making me feel bad, and like, I just gotta, live for myself and Mauricio and my own family. So, I mean, it's this really, you know what I mean? I think that's what's going through each of their minds. And Kyle's
Agreed.
like, I'm not going to speak up for you because, like, we've been down this road. And I think Kathy's like, speak up. I've done everything. It's like I see both sides of it. I'm not saying either's right. I just think there's years of why each of them is so.
I agree. Right? I agree. And I agree with you 100%. It goes really deep, probably to their childhood, I'm sure. But my feeling is for the camera, for the public, family unites. You don't go against your family. When you're sitting there on that sofa and you know damn well that Rinna really is not your friend, Erika is really not your friend, right? When the show's over, I'm curious how much they're all going to hang out. And Kathy is always going to be your sister. Those are always going to be your nieces and nephews, and that's always going to be your family. I just think that you want to put a little bit more effort into maintaining that relationship than you would about the 2 trash buckets on the couch. Sorry, I know that doesn't sound nice, but that's how I felt.
Yes. Does Kyle know this, though, that this is not your real friend, number one, with the pixie haircut, and this is not your real friend, number two, with, her tight boobs pushed? Like, does she know these are not her 2 friends? I don't know.
But maybe it's Kyle, also still trying to save the show and looking at her career. It's a huge chunk of money and in a lot of things. And, she's still young, they're young, they've got young kids. They, you know what I mean? This is